Okay, hello everyone. So my name is Sean Aaron, and I'm part of the IBT Core Team, and I'm going to be running the rest of the sessions for day one of the staff training. So in this session, we're going to be talking a bit about commitments and responsibilities. So in terms of what do we expect from you as TAs and system administrators in the classroom, as well as what you can expect in terms of support from the IBT Core Team. So this is an outline. I'm going to talk a bit about what you can expect from the IBT Core Team in terms of support and expectations. Then I'm going to talk a bit about what are our expectations from the teaching assistants in the classroom, what are our expectations from the system administrators in the classroom. I'm going to talk a bit about the Google Drive and where we have some documents, including the register for the classroom. And then I'm going to speak to you a bit about how you can communicate with the IBT Core Team. So for any of you who know about this course and how it's been run before, you realize that it relies quite a lot on teamwork. So the only reason that we're able to run this sort of long distance online course is because we have dedicated people in the classrooms who are able to ensure that the participants are getting the best out of this particular course. And so a lot of it comes down to you as the teaching assistants and the system administrators ensuring that your classroom is doing well, is enjoying the course, and also communicating to us if there are any problems. So part of that teamwork is making sure that everyone understands what the expectations are from each other. And so I'm going to start off with essentially what you can expect in terms of support from the core team. So where can we help out with the course, and if there is anything that's going wrong. So first of all, we commit to provide support for Adobe Connect. So again, we've done some testing on that, but if you do have any issues, you can come to us and we'll try to resolve it as quickly as possible. We'll provide support for Vula usage. So again, all the TAs and system administrators should become familiar with it. If you're not, we can help you with that. We will provide all lecture material, practical assignments, and other course material on time. We'll provide support for challenges that the classrooms may encounter, and this will happen. And we'll try as best as we can to try and assist with those challenges. We will provide updates on course modules, trainers, and logistics. So if timings of courses do change, trainers do change, we will let you know. We will do all grading of assessments, and we'll try and provide some guidance on how to create a community atmosphere across classrooms, and we'll speak a bit about this more later on. So now I'm going to go through some of the particular requirements or requests that we have of the teaching assistants. In order for this course to run properly, we require these things from you. So for the teaching assistants, we require you to ensure that your classroom can connect to Adobe Connect. Okay, so this is important for all the contact sessions, and this you need to make sure that this is continued throughout the course from the beginning to the end. We encourage you, and I hope all of you are here and attending and participating in the staff training. We encourage you to familiarize yourself with Vula so that you can provide support to your participants when they're unsure about something and how to use Vula. We ask you to ensure that there is a teaching assistant at every single contact session. Again, this will be dependent on how big your classroom is, but we suggest at least having 2 teaching assistants at each of the contact sessions. And then also we're asking the teaching assistants to record their attendance in each of the contact sessions because we will be keeping track of that. Where there are participants that are continuing not attending class, we ask you if possible to follow up and try and find out what's the reason for the non-attendance. And maybe there's a legitimate reason that we can help out with. Where appropriate, and it's a particular area that you're comfortable with answering questions on, we ask you to go ahead and please answer questions on Vula where the participants post questions. If you know the answer, go ahead and help us out. That is quite useful, and answer the questions on the Q&A forum. We ask you to please keep us updated. So the core team keep us updated with any challenges you have in your classroom. So anything, and we can try and see if we can assist. And then we ask you to try and create this real classroom environment in your classroom. It is, like I said, it's challenging distance learning, and it's up to you guys to create this classroom environment, to create an atmosphere where people are able to ask questions and create discussions amongst the participants, so that it does feel like a real classroom. And then we also ask you to keep in contact and create relationships with the other staff members, even within your classroom as well as across the other classrooms using Vula. Okay, so in terms of, so that was the teaching assistants. So now we move on to the system administrators. So in terms of the system administrators, we ask you that you please help us if we do request information, provide us with hardware information or hardware infrastructure for your classroom, and then ensure that the classroom always has a working projector and speakers throughout the course, because this is integral to people getting the most out of the contact sessions, as well as being able to listen to the lecture recordings. We ask you to, so we've already had the Adobe Connect testing sessions. So if there are still problems, we ask those classrooms, the system administrators from those classrooms, to please get in contact with us so we can resolve any issues with Adobe Connect. We ask you to attend and participate in the staff training. Hopefully all of you are here. And then also just to, throughout the course runs over a long period of time, but to ensure that all the computers in the classroom are connected to the internet and running before each contact session, so that students are able to do the practical component of the course during that contact session. Again, just like the teaching assistants, we ask you to familiarize yourself with Vula so you can help if there are any issues. Download lecture recordings and practical assignments at the beginning of each week and inform the head TA where they can be accessed. So this is your responsibility. At the beginning of each week, the lecture recordings and practical assignments will be, a link will be sent to you to make sure that you download those on time. Also, to be available during contact sessions should there be any technical issues that arise. We understand that this can be difficult, but even if you're not in the contact session, that you're at least contactable by email or by phone, so that if there are any issues, the TAs can contact you in order to sort out any issues quickly. Again, update the IBT Core Team should your classroom have any challenges. And again, just as the TAs were asked to do, to create this real classroom environment and also to engage with your fellow staff members, both in your site or across the multiple sites. So for each classroom, we will generate a class register and we will send you the link to the Google Drive that is in the process of being created for each classroom. And it'll basically just be a Google's Excel spreadsheet with the names of your participants and the dates for each contact sessions, and you just need to fill in present or absence for the particular individuals. We're asking you to try and complete this attendance register in the classroom if possible, and if not, as soon as possible, and you just have to mark as present or absent. Okay, so this is just showing you an example of the class register. So each classroom, at the top here will be your classroom name, and then your participants, first name, last name, email, and then these are the different dates of the contact sessions. So you'll be able to fill in the register in that way. Okay. And then finally, I just want to speak to you a bit about communicating with the IBT Core Team. So what we encourage you to do is, if your participants do have any queries or questions or issues, that you try and resolve it within the classroom. So that's with your fellow TAs and the participant. You can use Vula if you have a question and you want to ask other people's opinion. You can use Vula to try and resolve that. You can also use, we encourage you to use the Slack channel that we're going to create if there are any technical issues. So this is mostly, and the Slack channel will mostly be our system administrators. So if you do have any technical issues, you can use the Slack channel. And then if you cannot resolve an issue locally, then we say contact the IBT Core Team either via Vula or via email. And what we're going to do is we're going to tackle, in the next session, we're going to tackle some approaches on how to handle these challenges if they do arise in your classrooms in the next session. Okay, so you now can move on to watch the next video in day one session.